Hey, it's Albanice with Online with Alba, and I'm back with a new video on 10 things you absolutely need to teach an online fitness class. I know during this whole pandemic, we've had to quickly adjust and adapt and figure out how to switch everything from in-person classes to online. So today I want to share 10 things that I'm doing to offer one of the best fitness classes on the web. All right, so let's get into number one. So I'm using an HP laptop. It's an HP Pavilion, and for the most part, it does what I need it to do. I'm not a super techie person, but what I can tell you is you want your laptop to be able to withstand streaming, recording, and downloading a huge video. All right, you can use a MacBook, you can use a webcam. Maybe you are a gamer, or you used to be, or you just randomly have a webcam. Webcam is actually going to be the best in terms of video quality, but we'll get into that later on in the video. All right, now I'm not encouraging anybody to go out and buy any additional computers or laptop, but if you know that your computer is trash and you've been having it since the 90s, or you know, it crashes in the middle of Zoom and it just does a whole lot, you might want to go ahead and invest. I mean, personally, I didn't have a laptop before the pandemic, and so this was my big ticket purchase. This is really the only thing on this the only thing on this list that is over $50. This was $3.99, and I will put a link below where I got it from. But you need a laptop or a webcam, point blank. Number two. Okay, so this desk tripod stand is really for those of us who are using webcams. So at the beginning of the pandemic, when everybody was kind of still learning the ropes and figuring out how we're gonna do this thing online, I went out and bought a laptop and I bought a webcam because I just didn't know what I needed. And so I found this tripod stand that I can screw my webcam on, and you can sit it on anything so that it can film you from top to bottom. It's adjustable, it's sturdy, and I really like it. It's cool. However, which brings us to number three, it wasn't giving me what I needed. Like, it was tall enough, but I don't have a whole lot of tall things to sit it on. So I would have to build like a tower of books. And I got time for all that. So I found this selfie stick tripod. And the great thing about this is you can screw it on top of that desk tripod stand. And then the selfie stick, you know, you can extend it and make it adjustable. But you can make it as tall as you want to. That way you can sit it on the floor and it'll film you from your head to your toe. Perfect if you're using a webcam, perfect if you're using your phone to record you. Number four. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's okay, so you got your laptop, you got your webcam, you got your setup. Let's talk about lighting. All right, the best light is gonna be natural light. So maybe you film in front of a window or your patio, or maybe you film outside if you can. But natural lighting is not dependable because the sun goes down. So the second option is maybe you have an overhead light, something where the light is coming towards your face. And so the people watching you from this side can see. And if you don't have anything like that, then I suggest you invest in a ring light. Okay, for a little or nothing. You know, it has 3 settings, soft ambient lighting, and it's cheap or affordable. All right, so get you a ring light. Get something that's going to light you. And while we're on the subject, make sure you're wearing either dark colors or something where they can see your whole body move. Try to avoid white. Try to avoid neon colors. You just want to make sure that they can see your whole outline, especially if you're teaching something like a strength class or a yoga class. If I'm on the other end of your computer, I want to be able to see what you're doing. Also, make sure you're on a clean, blank, white wall if you can. Make sure your background is super clear, like that. All right, moving on. Okay, number 5. So let's recap. We are using a webcam or a laptop. You got your setup, your tripod, and you got your lighting together. How are you going to broadcast these classes? Are you going to use YouTube? Are you going to use Zoom or any other streaming platform? So I'm using Zoom. When I first started out, I was using the free 40-minute version. So if you get the free Zoom account, they give you 40 minutes and you got to have a minimum of 3 people. So I think that's a reasonable goal if you're just starting out, to try to get 3 people to come to your class, and maybe you just do a 30-minute class just to start out. But if you're teaching more than 2 or 3 classes a week, I say go ahead and invest in the premium Zoom account. It's $15 a month and you get unlimited meeting time. And you can record your classes, which you can do other stuff with that content. So I'm using Zoom, and the thing about Zoom, I know that early in quarantine, everybody was on the struggle bus because Zoom is a conference app. It's made for meetings. It's not really made for broadcasting a live fitness class. So it was a bit of a learning curve. But what I've learned is a hardwired connection is gonna be the best connection over Wi-Fi. You know, Wi-Fi is competing with your phone. Maybe you got a Roku, or you got some other things that are using your Wi-Fi, and you got to compete with the Wi-Fi in the area. And it's unstable. Sometimes it'll lag behind, or your voice doesn't sync up with the music. So in order to get a hardwired connection, I suggest you take your Ethernet cord, which looks like this. It's the thick black cord that is connected to your Wi-Fi modem. Okay, take one part of it and put it into the side of your computer. But you don't have one of those ports, you say. Which brings us to number 6. Number 6 is a Ethernet adapter. Okay, I just showed a little clip, but I'll show it to you again. It looks like this. So one side is for your Ethernet cable, and the other side is the USB to go into the side of your computer. And you just put it in there like that, and bam, you have your hardwired connection. I promise you, it's gonna make a world of difference. Very good investment. I think it was $8.99 or something like that on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. Everything that I mentioned in this video, I'm gonna link it below, so don't worry. Moving on. Headset microphone. This is what I'm using right now. If you are in an apartment or somewhere where it's super echoey, I suggest you get one of these, because if you're just using the microphone that's on your laptop, your voice is gonna go in and out. Let's say you're teaching yoga. When you're doing downward dog, your face is gonna be away from the laptop, so your participants aren't gonna be able to hear you. Invest in this microphone. Again, it was like $35. The best money I've ever spent, and it's the bomb. Okay, as clear as I sound to you right now, that's how you're gonna sound in your classes. You can't beat that. So this is one of those things where you need it, but you don't. So if you already have like a little, let's say you got the Beats Pill or a little Bluetooth speaker or something like that, then that'll do. But if you're teaching a fitness class that is music-based, like a dance or something where you got to be on beat, you want to be able to crank it without affecting your participants' music volume. So I'm using my Bluetooth speaker as my personal music source, meaning that when I share my sound on Zoom, my participants hear one level of volume. And then when I connect my computer to my Bluetooth speaker, I hear a different level of volume. So we're hearing the music at the same time. It's just that I can crank mine so I can feel like I'm in a real live class, and I can control their volume so it doesn't blast their speakers or whatever. Okay, if you're not familiar with how to share your sound on Zoom, I will leave a link up here for a quick tutorial on how to use Zoom. But I think you probably want to use a separate Bluetooth speaker so that you got your own personal music. It's hard enough to teach virtually. You don't have an audience per se. Everybody's on little bitty boxes on Zoom. You can barely see them. And you want to do everything you can on your end to facilitate a live class environment so you can have high energy. That's where you probably want to get that Bluetooth speaker. All right, so along those same lines, I'm connecting my Bluetooth speaker using an auxiliary cord. One end goes from my Bluetooth speaker and the other end goes to the side of my laptop. And that's how we get that connection. All right, the last thing on this list is a 4-port USB adapter. Now, if you just recap, you got your headset microphone, you got your ring light, and if you got 2 ring lights, they're both USB powered. So that's 3 USB ports that we're using, and the average laptop only has 2. I recommend you invest in this 4-port. It's like an extension cord for USB. That way you can run everything you need using these additional ports for USB. Again, under $10. The best thing about this list is everything outside of the laptop and the webcam is under 50 bucks. And for technical equipment, you can't beat that. All right, and then I got one more bonus for you. How are you going to take money for your classes? All right, if you're doing free classes or donation-based classes, I commend you. I also started out doing that. That's awesome, that's great. But if you're ready to start charging for your classes and maybe even make it a side hustle or a business, you need a way to take money, okay? You can get a website. I use Wix. I'll put the link down below. But maybe you don't know how to build a website or you don't have the time to learn. You can go the PayPal route. You can use Cash App, Venmo. You know, you can just set your price and say, hey, I'm charging $5 or $10 per class. If you want to come Venmo me, PayPal me, Cash App me, and then I'll send you the link. Now, that's a whole lot of manual and mental work on your part. You got to keep up with who paid, who you should and shouldn't send the link to, email address, or maybe you're going to communicate via messenger. There's just so many moving parts. And it's a personal preference. I personally take payments via PayPal through my website. It's just super simple that way. My website does most of the work. The clients log onto my website, they book their class, and then they pay through PayPal, and they automatically get an email with the Zoom link. And it's worth the money. I pay $35 a month for my website. And so if you'd like more information on how to do that or how to build your website, I built mine. It's not hard. It's just tedious and time consuming. Okay, and I can also help you with that too. So let me know in the comments below if you like more information or another video on how I take money. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know, what are you teaching right now? If you're teaching on Zoom, drop your link if it's free. All right, as usual, I will link below everything I mentioned in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.